I saw this particular video on Instagram, right? And basically, it was with a woman. I guess she's supposed to be a Christian. And she was in the gym working out with a skirt, right? Like a long skirt. And basically, what she was trying to imply is that she's so holy and godly, and how everyone is mad because she's wearing a skirt and they think that she's too religious. I think I was following the woman, and I figure, okay, she's a Christian woman. You follow her. She's pretty attractive, right? At the same time, you really can't judge a tree by the cover of what it looked like. You got to look at the fruit. You know what I mean? So when she made this post, I noticed that her comments was a echo chamber. I noticed that everybody was in there, praising her, and it was like an echo chamber. And she kept talking about how she's godly, God-fearing, and how people are mad because she's in the gym wearing a long skirt. So I came in there and I said, "What do you wear to the gynecologist?" She ended up blocking me because of that. I wrote about 2 comments. One comment was, "What do you wear to the gynecologist? And are you prepared to be a wife?" And she put me on the block list. Ladies, this is why the majority of you that are religious Christians will never have a successful relationship. It is because the church has put a lot of you in a prison where you become so religious that you're no earthly good. You do things that is causing men to just not be interested in you. I just asked the woman a simple question. I wasn't disrespectful, because she's the one that's on social media prancing herself around as being holy, that she's wearing a long skirt. And I want to know, what does she wear to the gynecologist? Because if a woman goes to the gynecologist, she's not wearing anything. The skirt is off. And either a man or a woman is checking her, which in my opinion is ungodly, to say the least. To say that you're a woman of God and you're on a table and some person is putting their hand inside of you, checking your body, that is borderline sexual assault. I really don't even know why women deal with these type of things or why they go through with it. At the same time, that right there, you cannot put on a skirt and claim holy. Even if you want to say, well, my doctor is a woman. Well, that doesn't mean anything, because nowadays women are into women and men are into men. So really, it doesn't matter what of the sexes you deal with in terms of a medical professional. You still got to deal with people that are, pedos, PDFs, weirdos, sexual deviants. And a lot of times in those fields, you have a lot of people that be doing these things. So what exactly is being holy if you're on a table with your legs open and you claim you're serving God? Don't give me the well, I'm just checking to make sure my health is right. Nobody did that in the day of the Messiah. Nobody. Nobody was fisting you with their hand. And then you want to tell me that this is normal? And she blocked me for that. It's crazy, right? I don't think she know who she was blocking. I want to do a reaction video to her clip. And we're going to cook. It's amazing how people that are ultra religious, they're no earthly good. Sometimes you ladies can be too religious and it push men away. I could have had good conversation with that woman, but she's religious. And when you're religious and you're like her, I think she suffers from insecurities. I guess when I said, "What do you wear?" to the gynecologist, that triggered her. It triggered an emotion to know that as much as you're trying to portray yourself on social media as a woman who's covered, when you're in front of the gynecologist, you're uncovered. And it humbled her. And her only defense was to put me on the block list. It's amazing, right? It's amazing how the human mind works. How when we don't know what to say, what to do, when faced with judgment, criticism, we try to get rid of it by blocking it. Never dealing with the underlying issue, we just block it and act like it never was there. But now, I will go to social media and do my thing with my content, and now the whole world's gonna get to know who she is. You know? It's crazy. You know? Ladies, you have to stop being offended when people post comments. You got to learn how to take the criticism. And the thing is, I never said anything that's wrong. What do you wear when you go to the gynecologist? The truth is, she couldn't answer the question. As much as she talked about wearing a skirt to the gym, figuring she's warding off all the lustful men, me asking her, "What do you wear?" to the gynecologist triggered all sorts of emotions, because if she's wearing a long dress to cover up at the gym to prevent thirsty, lustful men, what is she wearing to cover up at the gynecologist? If she's on a table with her legs open wide, with a man or a woman using his hand to examine her, where is that in the Bible? Where is it in the Bible where God said, as a woman, you need to let a gynecologist put their hand up in you to check in your system and ask you, did this hurt? Do that hurt? Are you okay? No. That's sexual assault. You know? That's why I wanted to talk about it, because too many women get offended. And I think this is why a lot of guys don't even gravitate towards women that are Christians, you know? And you might have some good women out here, but I think that one of the dangers, if I can give you ladies some insight, especially if you're a Christian and religious, if I could give you some insight on exactly what's coming your way if you don't get your mind right, is that if you're one of them religious women who believe that wearing this skirt is making you closer to God and everything is just good and you're just such a Christian, the day you get with a man, you're going to put all your trust in this man. You're going to believe that this man is everything. That's going to be the very same man that's going to end up messing with another woman. You're going to be hurt. It's going to bother you. And you won't be able to forgive because you put all your trust in a man, not understanding male nature. That woman should have never even been on Instagram to begin with, flaunting that she's in a gym, working out in a skirt. If you're such a modest woman in modest apparel, work out at home. Why are you even in a gym? Why are you recording yourself and putting it on social media for us to see you? Just because you're in a skirt does not mean a man won't have sexual thoughts for you. That's the misconception. Women think they can put on an outfit that appears modest. But what about your face? What about when a man look at your lips? He look at your eyes and he start to imagine sexual things that you're doing. What do you do about that? How do you fix that problem? How do you stop a man from desiring you by just looking at you if you're an attractive woman? You can't. So being religious and overly spiritual actually will hinder you from actually meeting quality men, because you are putting yourself in a position where you're basically saying you're better than other women. In other words, because you're wearing this skirt, this long skirt, you're better than all these women that are in the gym. That's what you're basically saying, you know? So I just wanted to share my thoughts about that, because a lot of times women put all this emphasis on the outfit in terms of what they're wearing, and that plays a part. It's good to dress modest. I ain't saying to come out there and be half naked. What I'm saying is that you wearing that long dress is not going to stop a man from desiring you. You understand? It's not going to stop that. And I feel that by the woman blocking me, that's insecurity. That's a sign of insecurity. That's a sign that she wasn't prepared to answer. You know? Simple question: what do you wear to the gynecologist? Because you got to take it off. That's my point. She could have answered the question and said, well, I wear the same skirt. And when they check me, I do this and I do that to protect my innocence. She couldn't even answer it because at that moment, her Christian belief system was under attack, and she had no way of protecting herself at that point, because I used logic. In other words, while she's professing herself to be this godly woman who, you know, is wearing a long skirt, playing the modest apparel thing, I challenged that narrative, and she couldn't handle it. And instead, she felt the best thing to do was block me, not realizing that blocking me only made matters worse, because now I'm doing videos about it. Now the whole world's gonna know about it, and they're gonna know who she is. You know? That's the crazy part. But if you're a woman and you're viewing, it's okay to dress in modest apparel. Just don't be on social media boasting like you're better than everybody. It's a turnoff to men. Also, if you're unwilling to have conversations about these issues, why post content? Or if you're going to just block everybody that you disagree with, what's the point? That means that she's looking for an echo chamber. That means that she was looking for a group of people that are just going to praise her. It's not a godly woman. And this is why a lot of men don't even gravitate towards these type of women, because they're religious. They're no earthly good. You know, they're so religious, they're absolutely no earthly good, because they're all the way up here somewhere. They don't know how to come down and meet a man in the natural realm. So I'm gonna do a video about it later on and talk about that situation, because I was like, wow, why would you block somebody for something so simple? I didn't post nothing disrespectful. I probably got a screenshot of what I said. I probably don't. I didn't expect her to block me. But all I said was, What do you wear to the gynecologist? And are you ready to be a wife? That was her reasoning to block me. Guys, rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. Make sure you hype the video, post a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Peace.